Hi, my name's Jen. This is All My Plants because I am, again. Today's video, we are outside in the greenhouse. It's been overcast today. I can actually stand to be out in the greenhouse for any period of time. The camera's still overheated. So I'm going to do Philodendron Show and Tell Plant Tour Part 3. So that's what you're about to see. Okay, so we are out in the greenhouse. It is a little overcast today. Maybe that means that we won't get too washed out. But I am going to go ahead and attempt part 3 of the Philodendron tour. We are going to start, I guess, right here as you first come in the door to the right. If I can get over here. Pardon the fan, I hope you can't hear it. I don't have my normal mic hooked up, and that's because it's wires, basically. And I don't want to snag them on a plant and knock a plant off, or snag them and drop the camera, because this camera costs more than my monthly mortgage payment. So, okay, moving on. We're going to start with this one right here. That is Philodendron. I've heard it Thai Sunrise. I've also heard it Golden Goddess. Lemon Lime Upright. I think it's a variety of Domesticum. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But you can see the variegation there. It's the darker green on the yellow, bright green foliage. That poor plant, it was looking much better than that. But honestly, I had it on a shelf, a higher shelf in the back there, and it had fallen over, and I didn't realize it. And it stayed that way for a while. It got pretty dry. But it's doing okay. There's nothing wrong with it, really. It's just maybe a few of the lower leaves have been knocked off. I'm not sure what's going on there. But it's a good plant. It doesn't cause me any problems. It doesn't make trouble. And then this one here, it's one of the few that I actually have on a moss pole. Once again, I don't have many on actual poles, or moss poles anyway. This is Philodendron Bipedifolium, I believe. It's a very nice plant. It's a very good plant. Normally a very well-behaved plant. It has taken some knocks as time has gone on. Like, you can see water spots all over that leaf. So like I said, I do just come in here and kind of hose everybody. It kind of helps with pest prevention. It's not really grab the pole, except for maybe, yeah, right there, where the newest growth has come from. It hasn't been on here that long, I don't think. We've got new growth. It's a lovely plant. It grows fast. I didn't appreciate this plant for a long time. I kind of do now. It's like leaning into this shelf back here. There's another new leaf coming. I think there's like a couple vines in here. It's doing good. It is probably about 4 foot tall now, maybe 3.5 foot, because it's a little taller than this stand, and that's just maybe just above my waist level. And I'm not particularly short, not particularly tall either. Beating that leaf up back there. Yeah, it's doing good. It's doing good. I like the color of this plant. It's kind of like a blue-gray also. I mean, it's not as much so as like Silver Sword, but maybe I would compare this to, the other day I was struggling to find a word to describe the color of the Adabapoense, the front of the leaf. This is similar to that, now that I think of it. It's not like a, in comparison, it's not like a true green. Okay, anyway. And then the third one, I guess, would be this guy right here. It was Philodendron Goldii when I bought it, so I'm still going to include it in Philodendrons. This was a troublesome plant. Mostly it just wouldn't grow until I repotted it, and it has done okay now. Pardon that leaf. I don't really pull dead leaves off until it's obvious that they have to go. Most of the time they go on their own when I blast them with water. So I don't worry about it. But it's doing fine now. I think now it's the Metaphyllum. Oh, Spersiana maybe? But yeah, it used to be Philodendron Goldii when I bought it. I think it was reclassified that way. I'm not sure which direction that went, to be honest with you. This is probably my smallest Philodendron gloriosum. It was just that chunk. Oh, sorry, we're not focusing well. It was just this chunk forever. I actually thought it was a Palmenii chunk for the longest time. So imagine my surprise when a gloriosum leaf popped out of it. I was very surprised. Very surprised indeed. It's so cute. Right there. That is Philodendron tripartitum. I like this plant a lot. I really, really do. We've gotten all kinds of different sized leaves on this guy. It kind of does what it wants. Like, look at that little bitty one there. So I cut it not too long ago because it was already at the top of the pole, and we did some propagating. This was the leaf right before the chop. Or, yeah. And then this is the leaf it has given me, which you can see it has some pesty damage. If we'll focus, there we go. Has some pesty damage, but it has a new leaf coming. It's okay. These guys here had some issues, and we treated all of them. This is the other one. I think this was the original culprit for the spider mites, which hopefully I've gotten rid of now. They've all been treated, and they probably will be treated at least a time or two more. But look at that. Oh, did I mention this is Philodendron Splendid, which you've probably seen more, because I have some inside. I think I've had them in videos before, I'm not sure. But it's a beautiful plant. I love it. It's definitely one of my favorites. And then right down here, this enormous leaf. This is Philodendron Giganteum. If that gives any idea of the size, it is gigantic. It is getting there anyway. Also has lots of water spots on it. This is actually one of the smallest leaves on this plant. Is this one. And I think it's just because it doesn't really have any kind of adequate support, if you look there. I mean, it's definitely ready to grab something, anything, everything. But yeah, it's a good plant. I like this one a lot. It has a little friend volunteering in the pot there with it. I'm just gonna leave it in there. To be honest with you, it dries. I have to water this about every other day. It dries pretty quickly, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be repotting it again soon. I've repotted it. I've had it maybe a year, I'm not sure, and I've repotted it probably 4 times in the past year. So it's a grower. And then, let me back up so you can maybe see this guy here. That is, I believe it's called Philodendron lemon lime, like a type of Hederaceum. But it's beautiful. I love the color. The new leaves have like an orange blush to them, usually much more than this is even showing. I don't see any that are new. Oh, here's a little bit newer, but it's another one that's just beautiful, and I love it, and it does well. I bought it I think last fall, and just the top of the pot there was fairly full, and then it just had a great winter and spring, I guess. Flip it around so you can see the other side. That's just a beautiful plant. It's a good plant. It doesn't complain too much. It needs a lot of water out here, but that's to be expected, I suppose. And then here is, I think this is the only melanochrysum that's outside right now. This was the original leaf it was propagated with from way back in its thrift days. This was from the original plant. It's the only leaf still surviving from my original plant. So this is the second iteration. You saw the third in the house if you saw part, I believe it was 2 of this tour. It's not doing too bad. It's doing okay out here. It's very pretty. Like, look at the color shift. Very pretty. I hope it does well. I need to do something better with it because it's not even, it is just the root in the pot. If it'll focus back there. Just the root in the pot, the actual stem is not. And then here I have, then here is the Philodendron Bipedifolium that I was talking about. The one that I've actually lost. Couldn't remember where I put it. It's doing quite well. Oh look, it has a freckle. Yeah, see a little freckle. But it's a good plant. It's tough. It puts up with all of my nonsense. It doesn't ask for much. It does need a bigger pole. It's not really asking for one yet, because this was the newer leaf. It's slightly smaller, but it's a good plant. Pardon all the pollen on everything. I leave the doors open because otherwise it's just too hot in here. But yeah, that's Philodendron Bipedifolium. I think it was sold to me as reindeer pedatum. I got it in a Facebook purge. I don't know, maybe time dispersion purge or tropical BST, I'm not sure. But it's a good one. Oh, my head. Have mercy. Okay. And then I had to dig this one out from behind everybody, but this is the tripartitum cuttings. I think, what is it, 2? It was 2 cuttings. And it's not really doing much. It's been very slow to do anything. I assume it's rooted because, I mean, it's still alive, but it's just not doing much. So yeah, that's that guy. Okay, so the camera overheated, but I think that was 10 that we've done so far along this side. I believe that's all of them, you know, over here on these 3 tables, and the one that's hanging on this side. So I guess we're going to do one more. No, we'll do whatever ones are on this shelf here. That one there is Philodendron Pozzi. It used to be Superbum, or Superbum. I don't know why the bum would be super. That's a big leaf. It's longer than my forearm. I don't know, and my hand together, so maybe about 2 feet. That one there is wider but shorter. And then that one was the newest leaf when I gave it a chop. It's actually smaller. I'm sorry, I can't do much about the chickens. Forgive me. But I gave it a chop, and then there's also a growth point. Let me see if I can get up here without getting bit by a spider. Yeah, there's a growth point up there. So that's one of my favorite philodendrons. I think I drove 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to go to this place. It's called Plants Alive. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. But anyway, I drove a few hours to go there, and I picked this one up, and I think maybe a Prince of Orange. And I don't know where the Prince of Orange is, to be honest with you. I have no idea. It might not even be alive anymore. But anyway, one of my favorite plants. I love it. I have no regrets having gone that far for it. It grows well. Actually, it slowed way down since I propagated it. But you'll see the propagation that I rooted in the next part of this video. In part 4, I guess, the next part of this series. But yeah, it's a good plant. That one there, it's just an old leaf, and I haven't felt the need to take it off yet. They usually fall off on their own after a few days, but yeah, you can see there's some burnt pieces. It was flipped around the other way, leaning up against the plastic back there, and it didn't love the heat and direct sun, I guess, because there is like an opening in the shade cloth, like there. You can kind of see. It's a huge plant. It has about a 4-foot spread. So that's going to be very fun to try to take back inside when summer's over, if I have to. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it's a good plant. And then, let's see down there. This is a spider mighty Philodendron fuzzy petiole. It's just kind of sitting here because it's being treated. That's why it's not up above anything else. So yeah, wish me luck with that. This is another propagation of the Philodendron Camposportuanum. It does not appear to be doing anything yet. Do we have roots? No, I don't see much roots going on in there either. I don't know. So we'll wait on that a little bit longer and then I'll check it out. And then also in this little thing, this is another Philodendron Splendid. You can see we've had some dead leaves. It's okay. It's very dry. I forget to water it. Lots of algae going on in there. I don't see any roots though. But yeah, I assume it's rooted because now it has 87 growth points. And it was just a single cutting. But yeah, it's done well. Done really well. I might just go ahead and pot all these together very soon, all my Splendids. And we'll have a splendid bush. I'm at a loss as to what else to do with it at this point. I think I traded some. Gosh, it's pretty though. Back of the leaf. A little damage on that new leaf growing. It's okay. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for where are we? Part 3. So that was all the ones that are there and on this side here. So, yeah. Okay, what'd you think? What'd you think? Some of them are a little angry, a little bit, but not bad, I don't think. Yeah, so stay tuned for part 4, which I think will be the final part of the Philodendron show and tell. I think. We've gotten through it, just about, like this close. So thank you for watching, thank you for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.